What's going on, Mazina Crooks?
Hey there.
How you doing? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. We got the lovely Mazina Crooks. Mazina is from Lansing, Michigan. She's a mother of five, a realtor, former radio personality for 12 years, actress, entrepreneur, and she owns a tax company that she's been doing for 9 years. She just relocated to Atlanta. Not only that, she's very educated in the credit realm as well. So she's going to be helping us out with that as well today. Give it up again for Miss Zena Crook, y'all. Give it up for Miss Zena Crook. All right. Uh, Now, Miss Mahogany Rose, she's going to be introducing our next guest. Let's bring to the table Miss Natasha Wilson. How you doing today, Miss Wilson?
I would like.
Hey, hi everybody. How are you?
How are you, ma'am?
Hey.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, Zena.
Heard nothing but great things about you. Miss Mahogany Rose is going to give an introduction for Miss
All right.
Natasha Wilson.
I would like to introduce Natasha Wilson. Miss Wilson is from Memphis, Tennessee. She has been in the health field for over 20 years. She has been living in Florida for the past year. Miss Wilson is a credit repairer for the last 3.5 years. Her goal is to educate young people in her community. Miss Wilson has a son, age 20, and a son that's age 16, and also a daughter that's 14, who is currently enlightening her classmates about credit. Credit repair is Miss Wilson's passion. She only wishes she could have learned about it when she was in high school. Let's welcome Miss Natasha Wilson to our show.
Yes. When I think about credit, it's one of those things that I feel like we learn about it a little bit too late in life, especially in the Black community. I don't know why it seems like it's one of those. I mean, me and Miss Crooks, we was talking about tax on the show a few weeks ago, and that's another thing. Taxes, for some reason, is something that we really don't. A lot of times we get our first check, and we see all these things that come out of our check, FICA,
Right.
the Social Security. We don't know. A lot of times when we're young, we don't know what none of that means. You know what I mean? But no one took the time to educate us to tell us why this stuff is being taken out of our check. You know what I mean? But here it is with credit. It's something that our parents never took the time to pull us to the side and tell us why we were going to need it later on in life, why it was going to be important. So it's one of those things that I think that we definitely need to discuss and talk more about when it comes to credit. If I had to ask a general question to either one of you, Miss Wilson or Miss Crooks, what is the earliest age that you should start talking about credit? Is it when you are start being able to work, like around maybe 12, 13? Because I don't know. I don't remember what age you get your working papers. What age is that when you first get your working papers?
You can get them at 15.
15.
Like I had to start with my children at 15. So yeah, I believe in children working. So they working and been working since 15.
We did the same thing.
Yeah, my parents they kind of instilled in me about working real early too. So I did that for my children. So I would say about 15. I started with my children with credit. About 14 roughly, real early. Anything I do, I be like, you're gonna need this for this.
Is that a realistic age to start talking about credit at 14 or 15 years old?
It's not, basically, because they still have years before they use it, but at least they know, like, even going by adults or listening to adult conversations, they can kind of like understand what you're talking about credit. So for my son, just hitting 20, he like, yeah, mama, I want a Wrangler. Well, you know what you gotta do. I don't have to explain it now.
Yeah.
I don't have to explain it. He works a good job. He already on his credit cards. He got his debit cards. He got his accounts. I don't have to explain those things. If you start early, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
we
I
send.
think,
Go ahead.
I feel like, you know, depending on where you come from, like for me, my mom, she didn't know about it. You know what I mean? So it was kind of, and for me, I had to work like early, because we didn't have, we didn't have much. So I was selling candy. I was doing what I could for money.
Not the old candy selling routine.
Oh yeah. But I think that that early is important to put in their head, because these kids, they know more than what we think. You know what I mean? 12-year-old, you tell them how important it is to pay your bill. Like now, these kids, they go crazy over these cell phones. You got to pay your bill. You want to use that phone, you got to pay your bill. You got to work and you got to pay the bill. To keep it on.
I'm glad you brought up about the cell phone, because that was going to be my next question. What is the first, if 14 years old is around the time you should start talking about credit, what is the first thing that you should be giving them or showing them to use to build that credit? Is it a cell phone? Because I think cell phones just started being used for credit, right? Not too long ago.
Yeah, that's a great idea, because they want it. So you know what I mean? It's important to them. You know what I mean? So I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
So cell phone should be the first thing that you should use as a tool at a young age to start building credit, is a cell phone.
I would say.
Actually, you can benefit from it 2 times, more than once, because you're teaching them responsibilities, which is paying that phone bill. And then you're letting them know that you can use this bill to build your credit. So actually, you're getting a benefit out of paying this bill. So there's another way of explaining it, because you got to pay your bills in order to build your credit.
Yeah.
Okay, but at what age are children realistically paying their own cell phone bill? Because I know most children's cell phone bills are getting paid by their parents, so they really don't know, that is being used for that. A lot of times the cell phone is in the parent's name. So I mean, how can it be used if the parents are going to put it in their name to build the credit for the child?
Well, they got to be 18 to have it in their name, but you can authorize user before that, and you can get them going. So by the time they turn 18, they already got credit going. They can be authorized users. Things.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that if you put them on as an authorized user, that by you paying the card, the payment for the cell phone bill every month was also helping the child. I didn't know.
No. I mean like credit cards, things like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but how soon do we start giving our child a first credit card? Because that could be very reckless, right there. Are we giving the child the credit card, or are we just putting it in our name, or putting them on as an authorized user?
I would just authorize user when they're that young, right? But you can,
we just discussing it right now.
Yeah. Unless you want to, like my son, he's what I know now. You know what I mean? I mean, you can make it to where you monitor it. You know what I mean? Like if he's 16 and working, maybe, you know what I mean? Just to see if he can, just to teach, you got to teach him responsibility, right, Tasha? You got to do something, I ain't saying, but they have to learn how to be responsible, basically.
Yeah, that's true. But at what expense? At the expense of ruining your credit or something like that, or you know what I mean? Because like I said, I feel giving a 16-year-old a credit card and me expecting to be responsible is kind of asinine for me. You know what I mean? Like, and if they mess that up, whose fault is that? Really?
I wouldn't just put it on a credit card, but it's like, you want some sneakers, okay, we'll put it on your credit card. You got to pay it off in 15 days or, like in a responsible way, like teaching them responsibility,
Gotcha.
That's what I mean. Not just here, go to card and, go crazy. Oh no.
Yeah. I think that's a good
I don't give cards out.
Just kind of allow them to purchase something and then give them a schedule of when to make the payments.
Yeah,
that'll teach them responsibility. I think that's a good idea.
That's not. I can dig that. So parents, if you want to get your child, get you a credit card, put your child on as an authorized user, and allow them to help build up the credit. Uh, Put an X amount of dollars. I can't say it's a debit card, but you know, because you can't, cause with debit cards you can put money on, you can load it, but you
Yeah.
can't do that with a credit
Mhm.
card. So I mean, like, we just said you're gonna buy the sneakers and you gotta expect them to pay it back every 15 days, every 30 days to pay those sneakers off or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Is that
Yeah.
okay? Well, what about the parents that are getting bills in the child's name? You know what I mean? And saying, okay, I'm gonna build my child's
Ooh.
credit up and wind up, you know,
Ooh, Lord.
because y'all know this goes on in the hood. Come on, keep it gully.
And I
Yeah,
had a
this,
concept of my name when I was 18. Sure, I know what you're saying.
yeah, it happens. It happens. I get young people sometimes, they ready to do some things, but mom and them kind of got a phone or something, they needed it for the moment, but they ran it up on the kids.
Right.
So, the kids, they been taking care of their parents, they bills they left behind, a few that I have had, but I have had that happen. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but parents, please stop doing these babies like that. Give them a chance to do what they gonna do first. They don't get to do nothing if you do that to them.
But you could do like
Even
Miss
if they
Crook
go in the
said.
right direction, like they don't get to go the right direction if that has happened to them. They won't even get that opportunity. So don't do the young babies like that.
But you could do like Miss Crook said though. Miss Crook said, like I could say, you know what? I'm gonna get the I'm gonna get the cable or the internet in your name.
Well, that's what
This,
happened.
this is gonna be your bill. This is gonna be your bill. You
Dang.
got your little job. You work at Burger King. You work at Hardee's, wherever you're working at. It is gonna be your responsibility to pay this internet or this cable every month. This is
Yeah.
going on, and that's building up their credit.
Yeah, my mom, like when I was a kid, because I started doing hair. I was doing hair when I was in high school. And I had to, whenever I had a client, I had to give my mom I had to give my mom something to go towards a bill.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I hated it at the time, but I understand, because it's like she was teaching me some responsibility, paying some bills. So yeah.
And
Mhm.
my children, they do. Like everyone in the house is on one line. We on one T-Mobile line. So, when they get paid, I'll be like, the bill due on. All right. On the calendar, I write it on the calendar when everybody portion of their bill due. So
Mhm.
when our sons get paid, both of them, each one of them, they're like, "Mom, he got my part of my cell phone bill."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's the thing, it's so crazy. Like even the kids, just they got it, that cell phone. Whew, that's it right there. That's gold.
That's all they want.
That's all they want.
I
That's
can
all.
understand the savings or putting the money aside and teaching a child how to save money, but a lot of times they don't really understand the whole aspect of the credit. I remember when I was working at Pathmark, and I just started working there, and me and my friends was working there. We was getting our first paycheck, and we had all these plans on what we was gonna do with our paycheck. Yeah, we're going down the Fordham Road or 125. We're gonna get us some sneakers. We're gonna get fresh. And I was excited to get that first check. And I got my first check and I walk outside the door. My pops is in the car chilling, waiting for me. He took me he said, get in the car, son. He took me to the bank and made me deposit my whole check. And he
Wow.
took maybe $25, something like that, maybe $70, whatever. Said, this is for your pocket, but this check is going inside the bank and you're going to build up a savings. But he never said anything about credit.
Mm,
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
yeah.
And these kids, a lot of times, they don't know anything about, like, if you put that cable bill or that internet in their name, whatever, you know, they may give you a little fee of, they may say, why am I doing this, whatever, or because they don't understand the importance of why you're making them do this, and they probably won't until they get a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And it's
Mhm.
crazy because
Mhm.
back in the day, I just remember, my grandma and my, just back then to have no debt, don't have any debt, no loans. That was like the thing, and now it's like you want to use other people's money. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Right. Now that's a good question right there. What is it better to have no debt or to not have credit? I mean, I've heard both sides of the coin. Like if you got no debt, that's supposed to be a good thing, but I heard that'll hurt you as well.
It do. It
Like
do. You don't have anything to show that you can own up to paying something back. Like people, they want to see ownership. You know what I mean? And if you don't have anything to show for as ownership and being an adult and paying these bills on time, what do they have? How can they trust you with their money? Like that's how you get the bucks of the money. Like you got to show them. Like you got to spend your money to get this, but in the end, they're giving you more money just for investing in yourself. So
some people see that as a sign of responsibility as well. Like, okay, listen,
it
I ain't got no debt. I want something, I go out and I pay for it, whatever. So, it should be reflected on me in a bad light because I'm not being able to show that I'm having a revolving bill that I'm paying. You know what I'm saying? At least I'm paying it off, whatever, so that I don't have no debts. And some people feel like that's a form of responsibility,
Yeah, but lenders, I mean, they want to see that you're gonna pay them. You know what I mean? So you can have no debt all day long, but when you want to go buy a house, ain't no bank gonna want to do that. There's no credit. We don't know if you're gonna pay us or not. It's wonderful that you don't have any debt, that you pay cash for everything. You know what I mean? Even though you hold up your own money, you want to use other people's money, but when it comes to getting something, when somebody wants to finance a car, if they want to finance a house, they look at your credit to see if you're going to pay them, So
unfortunately, that's just the way the system is set up. Even if you are, you do feel more comfortable with just paying stuff off. The system is not set up to win if you don't have credit, unfortunately.
There's got to be
dang if you do, dang if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly a good phrase. Damn if you don't, because there's got to be a way for the system to be able to say, you know what, to prove that you're a responsible adult without looking at credit. If I should be able to show that I paid this or I paid for that, whatever, and I paid for that, I should. If I can just show receipts to show that I paid for something, I've done something, that should be worthy enough for me to be able to get, finance.
But it's like it's not showing your responsibility. You know what I mean? And things happen. You know what I mean? Like Tasha's helping me right now. You know what I mean? So things happen. And that's the thing. Like if you don't have a good record of showing payments, why would I let you borrow some money? And it on a personal level too. You know what I mean? Like you can borrow $500 from your friend. I'm gonna pay you back. And you don't hear from them ever again in life. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the track record. Yes, it's good if you can pay cash and that's wonderful. Well, then pay cash for the house. Pay cash for that $40,000 car then. You know what I mean? So when it's and that's why it's so important. Like if I knew then what I know now, I would never have any credit issues. I would have never had any credit issues. But it's just we need to see. Just like if somebody wants to do a personal loan, wouldn't you feel comfortable if you talked to 5 other people they borrowed money from before? Did they pay you back on time? And if they say no, I ain't letting you borrow no money. No, man, he ain't gave me my money back yet. It's been 3 years. Or I ain't letting him borrow no money then. You know what I mean? Like for real.
I guess so, but I'm a little biased though. I'm biased because I come from a place where people like me who grew up, selling drugs as a kid growing up, whatever, and we didn't give a damn about credit. You know what I mean? A lot of times you want something, you go out there and you go get it, whatever the case may be, whatever. But then, life smacks you in your face as you decide to get more responsible and you're not selling drugs no more. So now you want to go out there and get something, and life is saying, well, what have you done, whatever. I'm like, what the hell, even what have I done? I bought a whole lot of things, whatever. I can show you receipts, but I can't show you that I made it revolving. So life is saying, you know what, F that, it ain't gonna work. So I'm biased, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, well, plenty of stuff. I done plenty of stuff for my money.
No track record. Yeah. So once someone's credit is jacked up, what is the first step that they should take to restore their credit?
Ooh, ooh.
Come on, Tasha. Come on.
Well,
Call Tasha. That's what I need to do.
okay. So the first step is pulling this credit report and actually learning how to read your credit report. Like, that is so important. There's so many people don't know how to read their credit report. The only thing they mainly know is when this score pop up, this is my score. Even when it comes, they don't, even when it comes to buying houses, you got to qualify in different tiers of your credit profile in order to qualify to buy homes or, do different things. So pulling your credit report will be the first thing you need to know how to do. Pull it, read it, know your scores, know what it is to build in each area of what you need.
What are those tiers you're talking about?
All right. So we got tier 1, tier 2, we got FICO scores. We got the different FICO scores. We even got FICO 10 now. So that's a new one that we have now, FICO 10, which breaks down to where the credit report agencies can see differently in your background with breaking down your credit card payments, how far they can go back to medical bills falling off to when there's mortgage lenders and stuff like that. So we have the FICOs, and then we are the highest FICO to the lowest FICO. So of course, you need I'm going blank for a second. Let me slow down. So of course we need a small loan, a long-term loan. You need a credit card, at least a unsecured card, major credit card, a mortgage if you have one. If you don't, it won't totally just count against you to make your score pop some for them to look at. But you want something long-term on that credit report to show that, hey, I got this, I can do this. Now, if you just starting off, if it's 6 months, you starting off into a credit card or something like that, then they'll look at that, they'll give you a small amount, maybe $200 to $500. Now, if you want to know what kind of small credit card you can start with, you can start with Self-Lender. Self-Lender is almost like basically investing back into yourself. So you'll start monthly with a little small payment. You start off with like $35 a month.
Is that a credit card you're talking about?
No. So this is the short-term loan. Two things. So it starts off as a short-term loan. Later on down into it and you paying it, it turns into a credit card. So you have two options in one with Self-Lender. You'll start off with a short-term loan, and then it turns into a credit card. But it's all your money. You're only paying back into. In the end, the money comes right back into you. So it's basically like you're spending your own money, but they're allowing you to split it up into two things. Reporting it on your credit as a short-term loan and reporting it on your credit as a credit card.
And where do you get this from? You get this from a bank? Who gives this to you?
No. So you go online and it's called Self-Lender, or you can go into your phone. It's an app. You can download the app. I'm going to bring up the app for you.
Self-Lender. Learn this out there.
Another good one, too, if anybody has with Navy Federal.
Well, it won't let you see it. It's too light, but Self-Lender. It's called Self-Lender. You can, it's an app you can use.
And Navy Federal has a pledge loan. They have pledge loan. You can do that as well too if they have an account. If anybody has an account with Navy Federal, a pledge loan.
Cool. So pledge loan is kind of the answer to Self-Lender. Is like it's pretty much
the same thing. You're paying into it, like she said. You spend $300, $500, $1,000, whatever you want to spend, and it's like they report it as a loan, and then they use it to pay itself, and then you get the money back.
And another good one is if you have an iPhone, like the phones they something else. So the phones have different things that you can use. So the iPhone, the only app you can use and get a long-term loan, and it looks at your account, and it's called Grain. It's only used on iPhones.
Mm.
So you download Grain, you put your account information in. You know, it wants to read your account, make sure you got something going on, and then it determines how much it gives you. So, for instance, I did someone the other day, it read theirs, and it granted them $1,000 instantly. So what it does is it gives you the $1,000 in Grain. That money is automatically yours. You could transfer it straight to your account if you need be. And then all you're doing is just paying it back slowly to show that you're paying it back in good terms. Now, that is only on an iPhone.
Wow.
Gotcha. Wow, this is some
You can't
very
use it on the Android. You can only do it on iPhone. For Android, there is one that you can go and get a long-term loan with them as well, but I haven't learned that one fully to discuss that one. But it is one for Android as well. But the one for Grain, I've done it on myself, and I'm still using it on myself. And it does help your credit a whole lot. Like over time, I've only had it less than a year, and I've already got like 35 or 40 points on my credit.
Wow.
How many? 35.
40 points. Yeah.
Over what period of time?
Within a year's time already.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Another thing you can do too is rent. People can report their rent. So you can go to Rent Reporters and Rent Karma and have your rent reported to help your credit score. You can do that as well too.
Okay, is that something new? Because I remember a time where your rent and stuff like your medical was not, something you couldn't use on your credit, something like that.
Rent you can. It's Rent Karma and Rent Reporters, right? Those are the two. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Now what about the medical? Because I hear people now saying that medical stuff are being put on their credit report and collection. I remember a time where those bills didn't affect you as far as medical. At what point did they start affecting people's credit reports?
I don't think they really do. Like when you're getting a mortgage, I mean, if you got something on there, they're a little more lenient with medical. If I'm not mistaken, Tasha, now don't they, like the medical, they can't do garnishments or something like that, or they can't do collection.
Right. They can't do garnishments, and they can't report if it's under $500. So if it's under $500, they don't report now. But the garnishments, no, they can't do that either. But they're easy to get off your credit report though.
What about student loans?
Student loans, what about them now? That's a booger now.
They definitely going on that report.
They going on that report.
When are they going to disappear off my credit?
They not going to disappear.
Look,
don't let nobody tell you. I'm here to tell you. I'm going to tell you the truth. Don't let nobody tell you they could take away student loans. Nobody can get rid of them people, okay? They can take it off maybe for you not to see it for about 6 months to a year. But you better believe
it's coming back.
It's coming back.
So
there's no way around them.
How long can you get them taken off for? Like a year?
Anywhere from 6 months to a year, but they're coming back.
Okay, but that gives you enough time to go apply for more.
Gives you enough time now. Definitely
we can get bankruptcies off too now.
Okay, now the bankruptcy is a breeze, but it's a long process. So let me tell you guys something. A lot of people not aware about LexisNexis. This is a third-party agency, okay?
Talk to
Everybody needs to know about LexisNexis. LexisNexis give you your entire life. I was surprised. I'm going to be honest. I had ex-boyfriends on there from on there. Okay. And I was like, I wasn't married to him. I was not married to him. Why is he on my stuff? It was in my reports, and I'm like, I was not married to him. I wouldn't have married him. Listen, go get this report, y'all. This report have everything all the way down to every insurance company you had in your lifetime. every email you had in your lifetime, every phone number you ever had in your life. My grandmother phone number was in there, and I don't even remember ever using her number. I remember the address, but I don't remember using her phone number. So all I'm saying is this report holds your whole life. And you will be what's surprised on this report that's not supposed to be on there, even down to things that I had signed for friends. The friends' names was still in these reports.
Yeah, but how can you get that stuff removed though? If it ain't
So what you're gonna do, you're gonna pull your LexisNexis report.
y'all
They're
listening?
gonna send you.
I'm gonna make sure the people are listening. Make sure they listening. Go ahead, give us.
Yeah, you're gonna go to LexisNexis.com. You're gonna opt out of them doing anything for you, just like the credit bureaus. You're gonna allow them to send you this letter. You're gonna do their release of information form. They're gonna send it to you. They're gonna send you a link with a password. You're gonna log in. Once you log in and start to read this report and start seeing things you're not supposed to, you're gonna dispute it just as you would on a regular credit report. They're no different. If you want to narrow it down to one address, that's what you need to do. LexisNexis is where you would need to start before cleaning even your credit report, because once you clean LexisNexis, no one can find you when you make it to that credit report. You would have got rid of all those phone numbers, emails, addresses, everything attached to LexisNexis. Once you get rid of that, they cannot find you anymore because that is your attachment.
Wow.
Okay. You get rid of everything on LexisNexis, you dispute it off. Guess what? Your car insurance gonna go down. That's where your car insurance is. Your car insurance is based on LexisNexis.
Yeah, we use it in the insurance industry. I'm an insurance agent, so we definitely get the driving reports and clue report and all that from
yes, sir. And we can clear that clue report. Go and clear your clue report. Your clue report got your friends on there that don't even supposed to be on there. I know one of my friends wasn't supposed to be on my clue report. And I was ready to get her off. I was ready because I knew that driver record. That's why my insurance is high. And if her name on there, look, baby, I know why my insurance high then. I have a Camaro. And that insurance is about as much as my note.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, I always thought that I get customers all the time that argue with me about their NVR, their clue report, whatever. I try to explain to them there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just the insurance agent. We pull it, whatever, and we go off of that report, but we can't change it. We can't do anything. I've been telling customers to go back to the insurance company where the claim happened, whatever, and have them. I never knew that they had to go to LexisNexis. I've been telling them, listen, who was the company with when you got the claim? Was it Progressive? Was it Nationwide? Go to that company and you can dispute it with them. Or I was telling them to get their abstract, like from the DMV. Maybe the DMV can do something about it. I never knew that they would have to go to LexisNexis.
Yeah, you can go to LexisNexis. You list all those accounts. Like, get this off of here right now. And this, and they do dispute it the exact same way. Another thing, these accounts, when you check systems, same way, you dispute it just like the credit bureaus. You dispute this stuff, you get that stuff off the system, so you can go get you another bank account. All of this stuff. So yeah, LexisNexis though is the key to everything, even the beginning of bankruptcies. That's where you started. You start at LexisNexis and you work your way down.
LexisNexis has nothing to do with your criminal record, though, right?
Your criminal record, no.
Okay.
No.
But
not your criminal record. Okay. No, you know how many phone calls I be getting about that one? Can you clear this? Can you clear this? No, but I got all kind of stuff. But we do got other third party companies as well. Second bureaus. We got Sage Stream. You have to send things to them. Evictions. You have your evictions that you can clear out. Evictions is much harder though because you still have to report to the courts to get everything sealed, even though it's off the report. You got a Novus. You need a Novus. You need to send reports to them, see what they have on you for your files, and all these things need to be clear, just as if you have your credit report sitting in front of you. It's laid out just like that. It just doesn't give you a score. But if you clear these things before making to your actual credit report, it's the whole life changing. Like you like I said, your car insurance go down. It makes it harder for people to find you because now all that old stuff, they can't track you.
Okay, but what about let's go back to the collections for the people out there, whatever. What's the first step to people who get like this, like Mahogany Rose was saying? Sometimes you got things that's been on there for more than, I know 70 years is like the cap, right? That's the statute, right, of limitations, right? So what happens when you got something that's over 7 years? Number one, or two, that you've maybe paid for or you want to dispute. What's the first step to getting something off of getting collections off of your report for the people that want it?
If it's over 7 years, that's easy. You know, you can just send your letter in saying with that account number on it, saying, hey, this is still on my credit report. It's past my statute of 7 years with this account. Please delete. They instantly delete those. Like those you have no problem with. Now, if you're trying to do a bankruptcy like that, that's where you may have a problem at, because most of the time, most of these things that's attached to the bankruptcy is attached for 10 years with the bankruptcy.
So you can't get that off of there.
Well, you can, but you got to get the bankruptcy out. So you got to get the bankruptcy off with starting with Nexus, and then working your way on down. So start with Lexus, then you got to send a letter to the courts, and then the courts got to send you a letter back. Then the letter from the Lexus and the courts then go to the credit reporting agencies, which makes them take the bankruptcy off, and then you start to dispute what is attached to that bankruptcy.
That sounds like a lot. Do they just reach out to someone like you to do that?
Yes.
Yes, they do. And I don't mind doing it.
And the thing you're asking them, hey, do you report the bankruptcy on credit? And then they'll say no. And then you'll send the proof saying, hey, they don't report, so it shouldn't be on my credit. I mean, it's not that simple, but that's what's behind it. It's a lot of steps to it, but that's pretty much how you do it. Now, me, like I said, Tasha's helping me with mine, but inquiries, you can call and get the inquiries off yourself. I called one time and I got like 38 inquiries. I had a lot of inquiries on there. Some of them were not even, some weren't mine, right? I had, I went to open a business account and I went to Wells Fargo, and the lady's like, because I was in the process, was building my business credit. So she's like, have you ever had an account here? And I'm like, no, I haven't had an account here before. And she's looking at me like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. I ain't never had an account here. Somebody opened an account up in my name at Wells Fargo in California, so I had a police report, because I had to, make sure that they hadn't did anything. And when I called to get those inquiries off, they asked me if I had a police report. Yes, I do have a police report, and they took off all of those inquiries. So you can actually call the bureaus and dispute those over the phone. Most of the time, you can get those off over the phone.
Okay, inquiries you sell for 2 years, right?
Yeah, right.
So you tell them you get those up for 2 years. Is that what you're saying?
No, you can get them off immediately.
Yeah,
like
if I go off immediately.
Quarter the mall.
But see, the thing is, here's the catch to that. Now, if your inquiry is attached to something that is open, that you want to keep, you cannot mess with that inquiry. It instantly closes that account that you have open that's in good standing. So you want to make sure that you go for that inquiry that they never open something in on.
Yeah.
I mean, open up something on. You know, if you went and applied for this car and they ran it 10 times,
Mm.
then you didn't go one of the deals, tell them I ain't
Y'all
do it
making it sound a
or
little bit too simple.
whatever.
Simple. Y'all making it sound a little bit too simple. You telling me I can call tomorrow
It's simple.
and I can call the customer. I want this inquiry taken off because I never took
It
possession.
wasn't me. Yes.
Yeah.
And they're gonna remove it.
I did it, and I got 38 inquiries off one phone call. It's tiring, it's exhausting. You can get it done. Like I need to call the other ones, but I got 38. Next day they were off. Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me do the Cabbage Patch one time. Hold on.
Yeah, that's awesome information. Wow.
What? That's incredible. Okay, now give
They
me.
do know. Like when I was in the process of doing it, she told me one of them. She was like, "That's attached to an open account." You know what I mean? So they knew. She knew once. She was like, "You were car shopping." You know what I mean? So you got to do it. You got to do it immediately. You know.
Mhm.
So if you go, because the thing is with your credit, you know, and Tasha will tell you, it's like certain things you want to have on your profile. So when you go to apply, you know, especially when you want to get business funding, when you're doing business credit and stuff, you sometimes you're going to have to pull your personal credit, but you want to immediately go back, you know, and get those inquiries off. It's ways that you can apply with American Express and everything. You open up different browsers and apply for 3 different products. You know what I mean? And then you go back and you can dispute the inquiries before the account. You know what I mean?
So it doesn't matter how long. It doesn't matter. Like if they on it from 9-10 months ago, whatever, I can still get those joints taken off.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Now my next question is, when you pay something off, what's the amount of time that you should expect for them to take it off of your report once you've paid it off?
They won't take it off most of the time. It'll still be there. You'll have to request it most of the time.
And how
So
do they
before you guys pay something, I would suggest you call that company and ask for a pay to delete. Never pay the full amount. Once it's on your credit, it's already ruined. Why pay them fully? I mean, you're already once it hits it, that means you was 30 days late, and you just didn't pay on time. So at that point, just call the company. I want to do a pay to delete, or either you can send a letter. It's letters you can send. I want to do a pay to delete. Would you give me like a percentage off? Most companies give you sometimes 40 to 50% off if you pay a certain amount. And they'll agree to delete it after it's paid, but they won't delete it until after it's paid. It has to be paid for them to delete it out.
Now there's a certain letter. What's that letter called? Once you paid it, there's a letter to get it taken up here. It's like a letter of the what's that?
It's called a pay to delete letter.
Okay, pay to delete letter. Once
Pay
you
to
paid it
delete.
off,
Yeah, you can Google it too. Like they got little examples of the pay to delete letters, and you can kind of like tailor it to yourself, and it works.
Gotcha. I've been hogging all the questions. Mahogany Road, you got something for them? Because
I'm taking notes.
Okay.
I gotta educate my community and myself.
now check this out. Now the FICO, there's different type of FICOs because a lot of people don't understand when they're looking at their Credit Karma, or they're looking at their Sesame, all these different type of credit things, whatever. There's a difference between that and a FICO score, right? Because sometimes you're looking at your credit score on these apps, whatever, and for some reason that's not your real FICO score. Is there like can somebody explain the difference between that and what is called the FICO score, what these dealerships or what people are really looking at as opposed to the number on your credit report? Because I think some people are confused. I know I am.
Well, I know for sure when you're getting a car, right? I mean, your score is your score. They're going to look at your score. But when you're buying a car, it's a different, it's not really different, but they look at your car financing profile, I guess. And there's levels to buying a car. So if you finance a car for $5,000, say you pay it off, you do everything the way you're supposed to do, and then you want to go get a $50,000 car, they're not going to give you that. You have to do it in increments, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. You know what I mean? And you have to pay you have to pay it eight. You have to make a good 8, 9 payments. You know what I mean? To be able to go to the next level, basically. So when you're buying a car, it's kind of like levels to it. You know, you can once you buy a car for 5 or 10, then you can buy another car for 10 or for 20. So you got to kind of work your way up.
But what about the score though? The score that I keep hearing about. I'm hearing that your credit score could be different from your FICO score.
Those are 2 different scores. You have your regular score and then you have your FICO score. But she said it was a 10, a FICO 10.
Because I know for me,
we got the FICO scores.
I was told that my somebody had told me that they had a credit score, but then they learned that their FICO score was reflecting showing a better score than what their credit score was, or vice versa, whatever. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, I thought that credit score was across the board. I didn't know that there was a credit score and then also a FICO score. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 2 totally different things. And when you're buying a vehicle, they don't just look at your credit score. You know what I mean? It's like a car buying profile, I guess is the way that you can say it inside your credit, basically.
Yeah, so basically your credit score is your Vantage score.
Okay, so that's a Vantage score.
That is your Vantage score. So those are the 2 different scores. It's a FICO score and a Vantage score. And the Vantage score is your Experian, Equifax. That's your score as a whole. And then you got your FICO score, like what Zena is telling you about. But now they have them broken down. So they have it broken down up into FICO 10. So which breaks down each category of the credit report now. Like makes it harder and easier for the lenders to go by now. You know, so they have so much they can go by. So with FICO 10, they only allowed to go back so many years.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. I know how to find my Vantage. Vintage? I know how to find my Vantage score. I can go to Credit Sesame. I can go to my bank's website. I can go to Credit Karma. Where do I go to find this FICO score?
You can go on Experian or Equifax and stuff like that. They have both scores on there, but they have it to where you have to request it. See, that's the catch. See, it's always one of them fine prints. Like, are you interested in your FICO scores? And, you know, most people look past that because they don't know. They're like, no, I don't need that. Yes, you do, because that's what everybody looking at.
So
that's what's determining your Vantage score, which is your actual score.
Like the actual numbers, you mean the 350 to 8? Okay,
right.
So the FICO is your actual score.
No, your Vantage score is your actual score. Your FICO score is determining your Vantage score.
Oh, so the FICO score it can kind of move up and down, like to affect your.
Exactly, it does move up and down. So that's what the lenders look at. Like your FICO score low, no, you gotta get that up. Yo, go get something. You gotta go show me something.
Okay, so you're telling me my Vantage score is the main score, but which one is the most important score?
Both of them.
They both are just as important.
You don't get nowhere around either one.
I thought one was more important than the other because I'm saying
damn if you do, damn if you don't.
At your FICO score. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta get this one to get this one. No, you gotta do good in this one to raise this one. And damn if you do, dang if you don't.
Oh, I was always thinking that the FICO score was more important than the regular score. Always, I was thinking that.
You both of them.
And from what I understand, can't you go to Experian to get the FICO score? Because I heard that you could go through Equifax and I think it's Experian and what's the other one?
TransUnion.
TransUnion would give you
Mhm.
the regular score, and I heard that. I think it's Equifax. I think I'm getting them mixed up. I think Equifax gives you the actual FICO score, but not TransUnion and not Experian, right? Is that actually?
Y- Yeah, it depends. I think it depends on what site you go on. Like for me, I only get it from one. I only get mine from TransUnion. For some reason, I can't see the others, but I know which areas like I kind of like gotta work on. So by just looking at my credit report, so I kind of like can average out my scores like that. But if you don't pay attention, it's in fine print and you'll miss it. You'll miss it because most of the time they won't even ask that question in bold print.
So
You know,
normally,
I
what
think
is
you
the
just want
range?
to score.
What is the range of a Vantage score? Because this is the first time ever hearing of that. What is
Their
the
stars
range?
stars from 400 can go up to 850 and 900.
And the FICO.
That's your credit score. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
And what about the FICO? What does that range from?
same.
Same thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
one
they
is
feel
neither
like that
one
the
is more
same.
important than the other. They all just as important as the other.
But they don't move the same. They don't move the same. So you can get points on a Vantage. Yeah, you might could get 30 there, but when it come down to their FICO, they might give you 5.
What? Unbelievable.
You know,
Okay,
it
so
depends on how powerful or whatever situation you in. You know, they got different things out there that'll move it too now, like the new what's that, Affirm or Carlana. These little off to the side apps where you could go and buy stuff. That stuff be reporting too.
wow. Okay. To the audience out there that are listening, if you have questions, please put it in the Facebook app, or if you're on uh, stationhead.com, put your questions there, and before the show is out, we will make sure we get to those questions and ask the young ladies so they can answer those questions for you. Okay, so for the customer out there that's want to know, they want to improve their credit.
Mm-hmm.
What is the first thing you would advise them to do to improve their credit? Is it the unsecured credit card? What is the first thing you would tell them to do?
Yes, I would definitely go for an unsecured credit card. I know they tell us to run from the credit cards. You know, a lot of people believe I don't want no credit card. I don't want no credit card. No, I'm gonna do this. But in all reality, everything that we do should come off a card. Like we should not be using money. To me, now that I've learned credit, like everything I do is on a card and it's a credit card. Like I'm just reimbursing myself and they just giving me more and more and more and more. And now that I see how much money they'll give me, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy some. You know, I buy some all the time now. Or I'm like, oh, okay, my cell phone bill, the rent, anything, everything come off a credit card. Every single thing. You can get credit cards that reimburse you cash. Navy Federal cards, they give you cash, they give you flights, they give you points and stuff just for doing good with these cards. So for me, I would say the best thing to do is go for a credit card. Switch towards the credit cards. You only spending your money to get more money.
A lot of times too, people, you know, there's these things out here, you buy trade lines, right? People do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you do that before you're trying to put positive things on your credit, it's kind of fighting. It's not going to do anything. You know what I mean? You want to get some positive things going on your credit before you add a trade line, because if you add a trade, I mean, it'll help you, but it would be a greater help if you clear things up on your credit, if you clean it up first, then like, you know, add a trade line. You know, you can do that and it, you know, you might look up and it changes a great deal, but then because you got to get the right type too. You know, you got to get with time, you got to get the one with the high amount, but you want to the first thing is clean stuff up, clean what you can up. A lot of people are very impatient. You know what I mean? They want to, my score is, I got a 480 right now, but I want a 700 tomorrow so I can buy a house tomorrow. You know what I mean? So you got to be patient and look at what you have going on. What is the problem with your credit? Is it because I got all these evictions? Is it because I got late payments? Is it because you got to look at the situation and see what do you need to fix, but at the same time, like the first thing you need to do is get something positive going on. Get a secure credit card. I've had to get a secure credit card just to get something on there. You know what I mean? So get something positive on there while you're doing everything else, so that can be helping working as you're, chipping away at your credit profile.
Okay, so I have,
and you can just try yourself with something low. You don't have to go with something high right off. You can start with something low. Some of them start you off with $200 or $300 anyway. You can start there, just training yourself gradually with these credit cards, to go into another one and then another one. But I like to see myself win, so that when I get to seeing you giving me some money for something, oh yeah.
And then when you go get like a Navy, Navy Federal, the pledge loan, right? If you do that, say you get one for $1,000, and the thing is the usage, the percentage that you use. So if you get one for $1,000, you immediately go in and pay $600 on it. So it's like you're not using that much of it. You know what I mean? And that would help boost your credit too if you're not utilizing everything that you have available too.
Right. Always stay under 30%. So the goal is to stay under 30%. 10 is perfect, but always shoot for 30%. Now, the catch with these cards is the statement date and the due date. That is a difference with any of these cards. The statement date and the due date. You want to pay before that statement date or on that statement date, not that due date. Okay? If you pay on that statement date, that's what gives you your score. You want to knock that down within that statement date. And then, but if you fall into that due date time, you want to just, hey, I got to put something on this card. That's fine. Put something on there. At least you're putting something on there. It only buys you a little time, only give you a couple of points. But where your points come in at, stay under 30%. And then once you stay under 30%, pay by your statement date, not by your due date.
And you get the statement date. You get the statement before the due date.
You get the statement date before the due date.
So when you get that statement, that's when you pay it.
That's when you pay it. So that's where your points come in at. Anywhere from 10 points to 20 points off the muscle.
Okay. So that's a question that I had because my husband told me just last week, he was saying that whenever he has a statement, he paid early, that once it was his due date, it was as if he never paid. So that helps his credit?
Yes. So pay at your, that's the catch with all credit cards and stuff. Statement dates and due dates. It'll throw you off. The due date, hey, they have you thinking, oh, as long as I pay about the due date, I'm okay. Yeah, right. You just all right. That's it. Oh, you just all right. You barely making it
wrong. I've been doing it wrong, y'all.
You barely making it. You barely making it at that due date. Okay. But if you catch it at that statement date and you under that 30% or so forth, guess what? Bam. When you get that credit report and it hit on time, statement date, and whatever date you paid, 10 to 20 points.
Okay. I got one of our guests says they said all of my babies are authorized users on my credit cards. I'm at an 830 FICO score, so they have a head start. No credit is bad credit. Now he says also I think you talked about this already. He said, is it good to clean the old address off to your credit report? And I think you said that was a good thing, right? To do that?
Yes, that's an awesome thing. You want to start with that. For a matter of fact, like I said, start with LexisNexis.
Okay.
Start with LexisNexis. LexisNexis, you start with them again. That stops anybody from tracking you. That is how everybody tracks you, through LexisNexis. LexisNexis is everyone's outlet.
Okay. Now they also said paying your credit cards in two payments twice a month. Is that advisable to do something like that?
Yeah, there's no difference in it. It's
There's
no,
no-
I mean, I done heard the theory. I tried it, but I didn't see any, hey, I was still getting my regular statement date points, So I don't see a change with that. I mean, I have heard that theory and seen videos and stuff, but I don't see a change in it. I mean, I don't see a difference in that. You can just pay by statement date.
Okay, so your child is still your child up until 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Your child goes off to college. Your child is getting credit cards unbeknownst to you, sent to them from all these because now they're in college and they got everybody trying to give them credit cards. What do you tell your child, or do you tell you are you still because you're really not in control at that point? They're 18 years old, right, and older, whatever. So what can you do at that point, right? You
18.
got everybody sending your child credit cards to try to ruin their credit because sometimes they're still not responsible at that age. What would you tell a
Yeah,
child
that's
in
true.
college?
At that point, the only thing you can do is what a parent can do, and is try to guide and show them the correct way to do it. That's all you can do at that point. My son, he tried it. I'm not gonna be in denial about that. One of my son, he was 18, and I got to send, I checked the mail, so I got to send these credit card papers flowing through here, and I'm like, yo. No, sir. Do you know what you're doing? What you got going on? Like, what you trying to get? Like, is it something you're trying to get that you won't tell me about? Like, but at 18, they basically,
That's what
you
I'm
only
saying.
thing you
Like,
do is you can only educate them at that point.
Yep, you
it
just
seems
gotta tell them.
it seems like you still have a thumb on your child at that age, whatever. But not every parent uh has that where they could, you know what I mean? Because sometimes, like you
Yeah,
said,
that's true.
sometimes the parents don't know and they're signing up for these credit cards. Next thing you know, they've stretched themselves thin, can't come up with
Hmm.
the payments, and now here they are in college, and now they've ruined their credit at an early age.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
can only educate at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about
Only
somebody said I've heard that checking your credit score can make it go down. Is that true?
no. You can
Okay.
check your own score. You can go to My Free Score now.
And you
They
can also
start you off with a $1 trial for about $30. Of course, sometimes some of these companies they charge you to look at your scores every month. That's fine. I use My Free Score now, pay $19 a month. Look at it, see what comes off, see what falls, what comes on, if anything comes on. But you are able to look at your scores as much as you want to. What you can't do is run your scores how you want to,
Hmm.
or run your credit how you want to. So, you got soft inquiries and you got hard inquiries. Your hard inquiries is when you're going to borrow money and they done approved you and this is yours. Soft inquiries, they go and they run it for like clothing stores or something like that, something real low. So you can look at it much as you want to, but you just can't have it ran as much as you want to.
Mhm.
When you run your credit and you get approved for something, but you don't use it, does that affect your score?
Yeah, because they can close your account. That's like you never used it. Like it's just there, nothing.
Okay.
But the inquiry
Like it's,
again could be taken off.
so what you
Exactly.
want to do
You
is
what
I
I
you
need to
say?
do that.
want to go in. That's exactly just just have it
Uh-huh.
take. Just compliment count count
We,
on there with it. Like that's
I think we're kind of losing you a little bit there, Miss Natasha. Whatever. Some of what you said was kind of distorted a little bit.
hear me.
I think she's I think you're still there, but kind of whatever. You still there, right, Miss
Okay,
Crook?
can you hear me
I'm
now?
here.
Okay. Okay. So, quick question.
Okay.
You shopping around. You're trying to find the best rate for a mortgage, or car loan. is that going to just that's going to destroy your credit by all them taking all those hits on your credit report, right?
Yeah, you don't want to go. You know, when you go get a car, you know that's what they gonna do. They tell you they won't do it, but that's what they gonna. I forget what they call it.
I don't know why they do that.
Blast you, Matt. What I forget what they call it, but they,
I
you know,
forgot.
you apply and they send you to everywhere. You know what I mean? But yeah, you don't want to shop around. Like when I have people that's looking for houses, I tell them the first place you want to go is with your bank, who you bank with, your credit union. But you don't want to shop around. That's going, you know, all those inquiries is going to tear you up. Getting cars did that for me.
Okay, so when you're looking for a mortgage, you should go to your bank first.
Mhm.
Yeah, unless you should, because you have a relationship there. They know your money, and you know, sometimes people have to go to, you know, other lenders because they need different types of loans, you know. But that's the first place you should go because you have usually you have a relationship with the bank. Credit card, like I'm just
Okay,
reimbursing myself, and they just giving me more.
gotcha. Okay,
That's the first place you should go.
okay. So when you're going to look for to get a mortgage from your home, what's the score you're looking for?
You gotta have. They were supposed to change it to 580, but you gotta have a six. I mean, to really know you're gonna do something, you gotta have a six. They look at your middle score. So you have the three scores, the three, you know, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. They'll look at your middle score, and as long as that's 620, you good. So yeah, you gotta have at least a 620. You
Okay,
could have it a little lower, just depends. You got to have more money down. You can do, you know, they have different types of products. They have non-QM loans, non-statement loans, where you can put, you know, way more down and they don't ask as many questions. But it really depends. That's the first place you can go.
okay,
Mhm.
okay. So
And
me
not
ask you,
everyone look at the same company as well. Like Navy Federal look at TransUnion, and Wells Fargo may look at Equifax, and you may look at TransUnion. You know, all of them look at something different.
is there one that's better than the other? Is there one more effective than the other? Like, is TransUnion better than Equifax, and is Equifax better than Experian? I mean, is there anyone that you would advise people to look at that's going to give them a more accurate score?
What do you mean? Like they want to look at a more accurate score?
Yeah, because I've been told that Experian was the best.
Oh yeah, Experian is the best. Experian the best to go look at your score. Credit Karma, don't ever look at it. The only thing Credit Karma good for is knowing what's possibly on your credit. That's it. The scoring and all of that, like they're always 20 to 30 points off. That's why when you go wherever you're going, none of the scores are what you think you're looking at.
I got a 730. No, you got a 510.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you got a 510.
Okay, so wait a minute. When you say they're always 30 points off, is that 30 points off in the better sense or the worse sense?
They
Worse.
Yeah. Credit Karma
Worse.
will make you think your score is something that it really ain't. Yeah.
What?
It's in
So
the
if you got a 640, on Credit Karma,
In real
you
life,
actually have a 620. Are you for
In
real?
real life. In real life.
in real life.
Stop playing.
But when you got
No.
you got a
No.
640 on Credit Karma, but when I check your pulse, it's 510. You know.
Mhm.
Oh man,
Yeah, I don't even
killing me
use
right
it.
now.
I don't even use it. People really think that this is a good thing with using Credit Karma when they even come to me and ask, you know, can you help me? I got Credit Karma. I can pull my own credit. No, you can't, because we're not using it. You know, I'm not using it. I don't even. You can just look and see if it's something that you're looking for to get off or something. That's it. Keep track of things. That's it. Other than that, the scoring is whack.
Wow, y'all done broke my heart just now because I swore Credit Karma was the truth.
Yeah,
They
no.
offer that when you do TurboTax.
The,
They offer
When
you
you-
Credit Karma when you do TurboTax.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
They offer credit
Nope,
cards.
they credit cards.
Yeah.
You know, they just credit karma just got sued for
Saying that people
people trying to get credit cards and saying they was approved for credit cards. They weren't approved for them credit cards. Like when you go and when you look at that, like, and when they tell you, you know, this annual fee, watch out for the annual fees on the cards. You know, most of us, we get these cards, we think we got a credit card and they get the annual fees. When it comes to a certain amount, like June, or they always hit you around the end of the year, like in the middle or something, June or January or something, they may hit you with $250. That's your annual fee. You don't even know the annual fee from the, be careful with the annual fees too.
Okay, so tell the people right now. People were thinking, okay, I got a, oh man, I'm doing good. I got a 620 or I got a 600. Tell the people what is actually a good score. What is
Um,
750.
I would say once you at least get past six,
so if you get
Because
past
you're really struggling anywhere from 4 to that mid 585, 590. You know, the lenders like they iffy with you right now.
okay,
They
so you
iffy.
got a
So
better
I might
chance.
and I might not.
So you
But
got
a
better
good
chance.
score, at least get 650 to 700, start easing past that 700. But once you hit 8, you in the gate.
Okay, so you want to be somewhere around 650, 670 to feel like, you know what, I'm in a good place with my credit.
Exactly. Like I'm doing something. I feel better. You
Okay.
know, you getting once you see 600, 650. All right, I'm doing something. I feel myself getting somewhere. And don't get discouraged.
Yeah,
Huh?
you once you get past 700, you know, you talking.
Yeah.
You
Okay, so what do you say to the person that's somewhere around a 650, right? And they come to a bump in the road. Now they've lost their job, whatever, and they can't make those payments, whatever. They're robbing Peter to play Paul, and they can't make those payments. And now you missed a payment. Now you got 30 behinds and a payment here and a payment there. But you give what's the best way to get back on track in a situation?
What they need to do is go pick up a second job and pick up Peter doing DoorDash or Uber or something like that, so they can make a couple dollars to pay Paul. pay, get back on track, pay. Do what you got to do.
At least pay the minimum. Pay the minimum.
Yeah, pay something. Pay
the minimum.
Even if you got to,
you got to keep them off you.
Yeah, but some people the minimum is hard to do, especially when that minimum is now. Well, I know in some places like a minimum is like could be like $25, $30, whatever. But when you've gotten to the hospital or something like that, whatever, and now you got medical and you can't work right now, you're on bed rest. Well, that minimum is turning to $75 over here. You got like 4 cards. One minimum is 75, the other one is 80, the other one is 60. I mean, what are you gonna do?
When you have a card, when you have a credit card and you have hardships like that, there's insurance for that. And it's like what, $1 for each 100 that's for the balance. Get that on there. So when you have those type of hardships, it will pay for it. They'll take care of that. They'll step in until you get it together. You know, but you have to be in life. It don't matter what these people, they don't care. You know what I mean? If it's something like that, you make sure you have insurance on these cars and it's going to take care of your minimum payment until you back. But you can't make no excuse no matter what life hits you with. You know, no matter what life hits you with, you have to still get back together. These people don't care. I broke my leg. I fell. I'm laying on the ground. I can't move. I can't do anything. They still want you to pay your light bill. You know what I mean? You still got to do it. You got to just figure it out. You got to be a problem solver and just figure it out. But as far as these credit cards, make sure you get insurance when you have these credit cards on there, the protection, you know, and whenever you have a certain type of hardships, they will step in and pay that for you. But if it's you losing the job, go find another one. You know what I mean? You got to pay it. It's not going you got to get back on track and just pay it.
That's a good thing. That's a good point, Zena. Like a lot of us, we look over that we could get hardships with all these companies, okay? When you can't pay your card note, you can call them people and let them know that you cannot pay that card note. But besides not being able to pay that card note, they can push 2 or 3 card notes to the end for you. The end of the year, they'll do that for you. You'll have 3 months 2 or 3 months free up. Just talk to them. There are different hardships with everything you deal with. All you got to do is really talk to these people and let them know it's a hardship.
Okay.
So save what you have. Don't lose. I hate losing stuff. I cry like a baby. I hate seeing people getting a car taken away from them. You work for this stuff. Try to keep it. Just talk to them. They tell you all the time, just talk to them. That's true. Just talk to them.
Okay. Now, what is the most important part of the credit report? Is it the length of credit history? Is it the what's the most important part of it? Is it how long you've had the credit for?
Most definitely the length of history.
That's the most important. That's going to give you
the most important, because when I'm cleaning credit reports, and they say, "Yo, I don't want nothing on there." Okay, well, we gonna go with nothing. But when we get it clean, then now your length of history gone that you've been, that you had on there, even though it was closed out, that was your length. But when you cleaning your credit reports and when you clean the length of history off, that takes your score down. You have to regenerate those points.
And I just want to piggyback off of that because I made a mistake one time. I was at the point where I was trying to improve my credit, and I went out and I got a secured credit card through Wells Fargo or something like that. And the card was in good standing, whatever. Now I started getting card offers, whatever, and they was offering me unsecured credit cards. So my big head butt was like, I don't need this secured credit card anymore. So I called Wells Fargo up and I was like, yeah, dead this card. I don't want this card no more, whatever. And that joint affected my credit report. My card. I was like, what the hell happened? I thought I was doing the right thing. But I said, you know what? Cancel the card, whatever. Now I didn't know that it was going to affect me like that. So that's something that people definitely should know, whatever. What's the best? Is it best just leave the card alone or just cut the card up and don't use it? I mean, what's the best way of doing this?
The best thing to do is put something on it, a cell phone bill, a little bit of groceries, a little bit of something, and just, it don't matter, $50 a month. Find something to do with it. You don't want to use no cash, no way. You want to switch to, you don't even want to use your debit card. You want everything switched to a credit card. Like, you should not be using your debit card. Like, everything should be switched to cards. Like, that is the best way out. I've been finding out, even my husband, he be so excited. I got to pay my credit card bill because, see, I'm trying to, he even on it now. And I'm like, oh, yeah, baby, we're going to the mall today, baby. But so, I mean, you do it, they reimbursing you with like thousands. So it's not like you putting 200 on the card or 300 and then there's the, no, they really giving you 2,000 and 3,000 back just for investing in yourself.
But what I'm saying is no one should ever call the bank and say, cut this credit card off. If you're going to stop, just cut it off, basically.
If anything, don't use it, but don't close your account. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Don't cut it up. Don't cut it up. Okay. Don't close your account.
I screwed up. I did that, and I messed up, and it affected my score, and I couldn't believe that it did that. I was upset.
And another thing, sometimes when we think we're doing something good, when we think we're paying a little bit extra on these bills, and we paying it down, and it's a long-term loan or a short-term loan, I mean, it's really not benefiting you unless you're paying it out to cut off the interest. Other than that, you may as well ride it out the right amount of time that it has with the right amount that it's asking for, which is that $70 or $60 a month, so that it can report just as it should and you can get the max points. When you think you're paying it on time and paying a little bit more towards it, you just rushing it to close out, and you getting rid of some of your points that you could be grabbing in the end.
Oh, okay.
It's really not benefiting you. You just paying.
Are you telling the same people that pay their mortgage off early? Are you saying?
Yeah, unless you just paying it off. No, credit cards too. Credit cards, or like when you rushing, you like, I want to go ahead on. I want to pay this credit card off. Don't do that.
No, but
don't pay it off.
A 30-year mortgage, you paid off at 15. You saying that's not good?
No, I'm saying that's good. But if you paying more towards that, is really not that much beneficial because of the reporting facts. If you're looking for reporting facts, then it really is really not beneficial. Like you want to use that time as it is so that you could get those credit points. But now if you're looking to go ahead and look, I'm sick of this bill, I'm done with this mortgage. The best thing to
all that
do
extra
is to
interest,
pay it off
pay it off.
instead of paying on it.
Gotcha.
Because of course, the longer you finance, the more you're gonna pay. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it is good if you're looking at it in that aspect. I don't want to pay too much extra interest, or you know what I mean. Then it's good to do that. But
But really, in reality, is nothing beneficial. You still dragging it out.
Well, I've been taking up a lot of you women's time today, but I do have one, maybe two more questions. And I'm gonna let you girls get up out of here. I know you got your families and all that. So, just a quick question: the revolving credit. You got the revolving credit, which is like almost like a store card, a kind of a card, right? Is that beneficial or helpful from another type of credit where it's not revolving? Because I know you got revolving and unrevolving, right? Or which one is better, or which one is more important?
Revolving. Revolving is more important, but both of them look good for you.
you want to have a mix of a lot of different things.
Yeah, you want all the mix. You want the mix of everything.
It's your profile. It's like your whole profile. It's not just your score. You can have a score, but then your profile is nothing. You can't get nothing. You know what I mean?
It's like you got to build it.
Yeah, you can have somebody that has a 640 with a beautiful credit profile, and then somebody with a 700, and they don't really have a good profile. And the lender is going to go after the one with the lower score, but the better profile. So having the different things is good.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. But what if you can't?
So the profile is very important. That's when it goes back to when I was telling you, you get the unsecured card, a regular credit card. That's building your profile. That's part of that profile picture right there she's speaking of. You need a little piece of everything.
Gotcha. Oh man, I can't tell you, women, how beneficial you've been today.
Absolutely.
Because not just for myself, but I know a lot of people out there needed to know these things. You know what I'm saying? I thought I knew a little something until tonight.
This is stuff that should be taught in school.
Yeah.
Yes. So with that, just speaking of schools, so my kids, I be like, we a career day. Like, Mom, look, we want to talk about credit this year. You hear me? So, I try to get into schools. I try to tell the kids, go in there. My daughter, she's about to do a career thing in a couple of days. So I'm be front center. But I'm big on the kids. That's my thing. I want the kids to know because I was poor. I didn't get to know nothing. I didn't get to go places. I didn't get to know nothing. I didn't know nothing about money. Only thing I knew is you had to work for it.
Yeah.
That's all I ever knew. I didn't know nothing. I don't know, just didn't know, So, if it's 6 of us, long story short, it was 6 of us. And when Mom and them saying, look, when you walk across the stage, you can't come back in here. That means I was a grown woman. So I knew right then in high school, once I walked across the stage, I had to learn something. So I was pretty much pushed out there to learn something. So I'm going to tell you guys from the bottom of my heart, please teach the kids because I didn't get to know.
Definitely.
I didn't either.
Yeah. It's like they need to take some of these things out. You know what I mean? That we're not going to ever, I don't know. I was just talking to somebody about that too. Like they don't teach kids in school things that they need to know that they're going to actually apply. Like credit,
for their lives.
They have to do that.
They got to.
Really should, yeah, because it can change a person's whole life. You know what I mean?
They could just give it a whole subject by itself. They could just call it,
credit.
That's it.
Life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is the life. This is the life course, whatever. You know what I mean?
Life. I mean, knowing about, no offense, but I mean, whatever, I don't know, learning about some of the stuff, I don't know.
Learning about credit.
Some of the stuff is just like, I'm never going to apply that. So why was that?
Need to be a
I don't want them to be disappointed like I was. Like, I mean, what made me learn about credit was I wanted a Chrysler 300, y'all, seat with a Hemi, and I wanted one so bad. And so I went to the car dealership, and like, nope, credit can't get enough. You need a cosigner. Then didn't nobody want a cosign. So y'all know how the cosign thing go. Don't nobody want to put their name on nothing.
Mhm.
So I got turned down about 8 times. When I tell you I boo-hooed, I said, you know what, I'm gonna fix my own credit. Nobody better not never say nothing to me, never again. If I get this car, it is on. I fixed my credit and I went and got me a smack brand new Chrysler 300C of that year of 2019. And I never look back. Like, I'm like, you know what? For now on, I'm fixing everybody's credit.
Mhm.
You ladies should create a curriculum to teach. There's people that would pay for the information
Yeah,
that y'all are giving
She,
to them.
yeah, she actually has one, and now make sure you put your stuff out there, Tasha. Like I said, she's
Absolutely.
I had to do a bankruptcy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so she's like, is y'all really? And the thing is, before I got with Tasha, it's so many people that scammers. Oh, I'll do it for 500. I'll do it for 2,000. I'll do it for 3,000, and you never hear from them. They don't do absolutely anything. You know what I mean? So everybody that I know, especially like dealing with real estate, I want y'all to get with this person. I know somebody that can get you together, whatever you need fixed on your credit. So she's trustworthy. She takes care of everything she needs to take care of. She follows through. So yeah, give them your information, Tasha.
And you can contact me anytime. I do let people call me anytime. Sometimes my husband be like, yo, it's time to go to bed. I'll be like, yo, wait a minute. Let me just answer this one last question. One more.
Okay.
But that's just how much I love it. I believe in people learning about it. No, I'm not expensive. I'm not expensive for a reason. And that is because so many people been scammed with this thing called, yeah, I can get it off, but they know they can't get it off, So I'm not expensive simply for that reason. And I do believe in helping people. I believe in helping people and doing this because I didn't get help. I was scammed too a lot of times. So I'm here to help. If anyone needs help, the name of my business is Over the Top. And if you need my information, I'll drop that for you as well.
Please drop it.
Please do. Oh, I do have one last question for the youth, for our young people. What are some financial behaviors or credit mistakes that you want to tell them to absolutely avoid?
Ooh. Credit mistakes you want them to
avoid at the age of 18, or
first of all, don't take them credit cards that they're trying to send you when you go to college. How about that?
Don't overdo it. Don't do something that you shouldn't do. Don't overextend yourself. You might want what they get now, what's the cars, the
Chargers and
them whatever they call it. But if you can't afford it, don't get it. You know what I mean? Or if you want to, it's okay to want something, but get it when you can. Get it when it makes sense, because you don't want it to be taken from you, and then you struggle with trying to get what you can when you're ready for it. So just be patient, I guess is what I should say.
Be patient. Yeah, that's the best advice to give them, though, for real. I mean, we try with our young people, but you know how they are. They get out there and they try to. Some of them you could put them this way, but they go this way, but you got to keep tug of war, but never give up on them, though. So what you want to do is just continue to educate them. That's the best advice I can give, is to just continue to try to educate them with what they're doing. And, like Zena said, don't overdo it.
Is credit restoration and credit repair the same thing?
The same thing. It's
So
the same
it's
thing.
a different name.
Just a different name.
Okay, and how can they reach you to discuss credit repair or restoration?
Yeah, so you guys can reach me at 404-528-7987. My name's Natasha Wilson, and the name of my business is Over the Top, and I always try to get over the top with stuff. And so my slogan is, this is where the magic happens.
Okay.
I like that. Anything you want to leave the people with, Miss Zena?
Hey, if you need to buy a house, let me know. If you need to rent something short term in Atlanta, let me know. If you want your taxes done, let me know.
So for sure. You women have been so awesome. I thank you again, Zena, and I thank you, Mr. Tasha, for joining us today.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you
so
for
welcome.
blessing us today. You guys
Yes.
gave
Thank
us
you all for having me.
today. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm going to make sure I share this like 5 times throughout this.
Hopefully, we'll talk about business credit one day soon. That's
Yes, that's next. We definitely need to talk about these.
Ooh, okay. Now, matter of fact, we're gonna try to schedule that over the next month or so, whatever. Some business credit. We need to talk about that because we
Yeah,
talk
let's
about
talk about some
entrepreneurship a
business
lot.
credit.
So, in our next entrepreneurship topic, we're gonna tap into that business credit, whatever. So I'm gonna reach out to both of y'all for that. How about that?
All right, I'm ready.
Entrepreneurship, because y'all seem like y'all big on this entrepreneurship thing and being independent. So
be
you know
free.
what I mean?
Yeah, you're free.
That's the way. Be free.
Gotcha. Well, listen, we appreciate you all. We're gonna take up no more of your time. You've been awesome. Miss Crook, Miss Wilson. And is any last thing you want to say before we go? If not, we gotta get up out of here. No, we all good?
No, I just want to thank you for having me.
Oh man,
you.
you've been patient. So we are out of here 5 minutes before we do it for the Culture Radio. Catch us every Wednesday for great topics, and on Sunday you can listen to our radio show. We got DJ Miz giving you the backspin from old school music and all that. Some great topics as well on that. So make sure Wednesdays and Sundays check us out at 7 p.m. 5 minus 4. We out of here. We do it for the
Thank you,
Culture. Y'all
ladies.
be good.
All right.
Good night.
All right.